Okay, here we are, and you know, we've talked about theater and we've talked about a lot of other things, but you know, one vital part of our community is business. And there are so many young businesses, small businesses, and people who are anticipating going to business. And for 8 years has it been?
It's the 8th year.
Jay, have you been involved as the entire length?
I've been an attendee for the past 2 years. This is my first year as a co-organizer of smAlbany, the Day for Small Business, and it's happening Thursday, July 17th, starting at 8 in the morning.
It's a free event.
And it's free?
Larry, I think you started this, didn't
Yes,
you?
we started it 8 years ago.
Incredible.
Yeah, originally Microsoft wanted help getting the message out to small business owners of new technology, and it's expanded based on that.
And that was 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and things have changed incredibly.
Yeah, you know, if you go forward, people assume now that it's so busy and they're overworked, and that's kind of the reason we came up with the theme of innovation tied to work-life balance. But if we go forward a few years, people are going to look back now and say these were the good old days when we weren't as connected. Because we're just getting so much information in our lives. It's just overwhelming.
Well, and it's interesting that if you go to a website, for instance, it'll say, we're on Twitter, pick all at the bottom. I don't know how people who are in business can run a business and do the technology at the same time. You need an IT person. I know that's what you know, you guys, you're a web designer and you're an IT specialist. How do you incorporate this as a business owner? I used to own a business, and I'm telling you, it takes a lot of energy to run your business and to do all the background. I don't even know if I could have done it.
Well, what we try to do is find ways that you can get these tasks that you described done as part of your normal daily activities and break them into little pieces. But it can be overwhelming because every one of them pulls your focus.
Well, not only that, but you have people that are in business that know like nothing about a computer. I mean, that totally amazes me in this day and age because, you know, when telephones came out, we all had to learn how to use a telephone. I mean, I didn't because I wasn't that, and we won't go there. But the point is, you have to learn this technology. Not only that, but there's a new technology coming out all the time that you have to kind of ramp up. How does that?
Well, it seems to be a convergence of the virtual and physical worlds with the technology, and that's what they're trying to do with our smartphones and everything, and it's all tied together with the websites. So we try to find ways for people to navigate that while still having a little bit of time for life on the side. So,
and that's what your theme is to life and business.
Yes.
If someone would come to this, anyone is eligible to come. If you're thinking about going into business, you are in a business, you work for a business even.
Yeah, our core people that come are experienced business owners because there's so much working in the business. July tends to be the 1 month that maybe they can step away and work on the business. They may not even go to any seminars during the year. But it's a little quieter. So this is the one day, the day for small business, that they can step away from working in their business and work on their business with their neighbors and their peers.
Yeah, and do we have that slide? I just want to show you this. You can't read it, but I just want to show you the magnitude of the events that are going on there. That's a lot.
Yeah, we have 3 tracks this year: innovation, businesses helping business, and work-life balance. And it's on 4 stages, and there's going to be exhibits in the middle, and it starts at 8 o'clock in the morning and goes till 4 o'clock at night.
Now, can you come, like, say, before work? Suppose you have to be to work at 10 o'clock. Can you come from 8 to 10 and get something out of it?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they're broken into little pieces. So if you only have 45 minutes or half an hour, you can attend a workshop. If you have a little more time, you can attend more than one.
How can you manage to do this for free?
We get support, and people participate, and the exhibitors participate, and everyone kind of pitches in a little bit.
Everybody does a little bit. Now, we have two co-organizers here, and I think we should learn a little bit something about them. Now, you're a web designer. Tell us about what you do.
Yes, well, at J-Core Web, I work with small business owners to help their websites rank better for the key terms that they need to be found for online. However, in addition to
People
that,
don't realize that there's a word that when you type it in, it will
Yes.
bring up certain websites.
in other words, if you're looking for theaters in Schenectady, there's a way to get Proctor's to come up on top, and it does. But
Yeah, yeah.
it needs to spend some time and effort getting it there.
So there is a way to do that.
There is a way to do that, and there's also social media now feeding into the mix and the mobile. So not only does your website need to be found, it needs to look good on a big screen, a small screen, and all different
I
sizes.
didn't
in
even think
between.
about that, but
Yeah,
yeah, that's
so-
true, because now that you're using a tablet or something, a smartphone, you still have to be able to see it, and some of them are poorly designed.
Well,
oh, I'm sure
sorry.
you didn't know that.
A lot of what I'm doing today, though, is helping people with websites that don't show up so
That's
well
right,
on the
that's
small
right, yeah.
screens to bridge that
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Thank you.
Yeah, how long you been doing this?
for about 10 years.
Wow, you started early.
Yes.
Yeah, well, at the beginning of the
Not the beginning of the internet, but certainly the
No, but
beginning
the
of
beginning
the
of that,
socialization in the
changing,
internet. Yes,
changing.
yes.
I mean, and the changes go on constantly. Larry is the owner of Liberteks. What do you do over there, Larry?
We're in the IT support business. We help business owners and individuals be productive because we'll take care of the technology so they can take care of their business.
That's a good idea, yeah. And in a way, we can't not everyone can hire an IT person to be with them all the time. So to get some, help that way is helpful.
Yes.
The event is, go over it one more time, where it is, where they park. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, it's over at the newly expanded College of Nanoscale Science and Engineering and SUNY IT, which is on Fuller Road.
That's a huge building.
Yeah, it's the building that kind of looks like an aquarium.
Yeah, yep.
So what you'll do is you'll go over there, you'll park in the Dutch Quad visitor student parking lot.
Whoa, okay.
When we have a shuttle service from SUNY Albany, they'll just go in the shuttle, they'll drop you right off in front of NanoFab South
Because
Rotunda.
you cannot park at there.
Yeah, because it's,
obviously,
it's
because
pretty
they-
locked down in
Yeah,
many ways,
yeah.
but this is open. You're
Yeah.
not going to need blood test or driver's license.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's their way of reaching out to the
Yeah,
public.
because you're not going to get into the rest of the place anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they got that pretty well secured. You were very fortunate to get that location.
Well, it's also very convenient because we're on Western Avenue,
Yeah.
right opposite the Cross Gates Mall. So it's a relatively short trip on my daily route.
Yeah.
So I like its location, and I find it's very convenient for others and easy to communicate. Everybody knows the building that looks like an aquarium.
Yeah, yeah. You really hit it. And that's quite an asset to our community to have that new college there. And I think they've kind of split off from SUNY.
Yeah,
they're separate college.
It's its own SUNY, and they've been investing in that facility something like $1 million a week.
It's a research center as
for
well.
the past 5 years. There's just so much investment. Every time you go by, there's a new building going up.
Yeah.
There's a new zero energy building going up, and one of the people highly invested in the zero energy is going to be doing one of our workshops, as an example.
That's
So we're
wonderful.
really trying to tie in things that people need into the message.
And it's a way of creating a better business model, I think, to learn these tools.
More sustainable.
Yeah.
You know, if you work really hard but you get burnt out and your health suffers or your family life suffers, what's it really worth?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you've got to get things to be balanced. And as we start having smartwatches and the Internet of Things, and we start getting all this information that's going to happen over the next few
We'll
years.
get those Google glasses, so it's
The Google
constantly in front of
glasses.
you, right?
You really have to have a system in place to manage the amount of data that's coming into your work life, as well as maintaining your health and your productivity.
Well, I know that a computer can keep you very productive. I do this show, and believe me, I get about 200 emails a day, and I'm constantly checking my emails. And I know they say, how often do you check your emails? Like me, every 10 minutes, because it bings, and I go, let me see if that's something that has to be done. And you just learn to work that way, and it seems to work for me. Of course, I'm not trying to deal with a lot of customers like a business that has a building and bricks and mortar and all the rest. I want to thank you both for doing such a great job
Thank you.
to help business. I mean, we've talked about a number of other things that are going on in our community, but this is a big thing. It happens once a year. Want to see you on the 9th.
Look
right?
forward to it.
On your ninth anniversary there.
Absolutely.
Good, great.
All right.
Jay,
Thank you so
nice
much.
to
Thank
meet
you,
you.
Ann.
You're
Nice
the
to meet
first time
you
you're on
too.
the show
Yes,
today. It's
thank
good
you
to-
very
good to
much,
meet
Ann.
you. I'm Ann Perillo. You're watching Schenectady Today in and around the Capital Region, and we've been talking about business, and it's called smAlbany, and it is on, the date is
It's
Thursday.
this Thursday, July 17th,
July
8 o'clock in the morning. Go to attend.smAlbany.org to register. It'll be a great experience for you.
I think that you'll find that it's going to be a way to increase your business and make your life a little bit more sustainable, you know, or balanced. A little stasis there, who knows?
Technology, and it's expanded based on that.
And that was 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and things have changed incredibly.
Yeah, you know, if you go forward, people assume now that it's so busy and they're overworked, and that's kind of the reason we came up with the theme of innovation tied to work-life balance. But if we go forward a few years, people are going to look back now and say,
Okay, here we are, and you know, we've talked about theater and we've talked about a lot of other things, but you know, one vital part of our community is business. And there are so many young businesses, small businesses, and people who are anticipating going to business. And for 8 years has it been?
It's the 8th year.
Jay, have you been involved as the entire one?
these were the good old days when we weren't as connected, because we're just getting so much information in our lives. It's just overwhelming.
Well, and it's interesting that if you go to a website, for instance, it'll say, we're on Twitter, pick all at the bottom. I don't know how people who are in business can run a business and do the technology at the same time. You need an idea.
I've been an attendee for the past 2 years. This is my first year as a co-organizer of smAlbany, the day for small business, and it's happening Thursday, July 17th, starting at 8 in the morning.
It's a free event.
And it's free?
Larry, I think you started this, didn't
Yes, we started it 8 years ago.
Incredible.
Yeah, originally Microsoft wanted help getting the message out to small business owners of new
IT person, I know that's what you know, you guys, you're a web designer and you're an IT specialist. How do you incorporate this as a business owner? I used to own a business, and I'm telling you, it takes a lot of energy to run your business and to do all the background. I don't even know if I could have done it.
Well, what we try to do is find ways that you can